Hello and welcome to VOS Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here on Red Carpet, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in fashion, in film and television from around the world. Let's get on with the show. And we begin with the NBA draft and 18 international players from 15 countries selected in the opening rounds, 6 of them with direct ties to Africa. Let's check out who they are. Jonathan Kuminga, who moved to the US from the DRC to pursue basketball in 2016, was selected 7th by the Golden State Warriors. Kuminga said that starting from Dikembe Mutombo, going to Giannis, who just won a championship, I want to be in that category. I want to be one of those players where coming from Africa and one day do something big in the NBA. Born to Nigerian parents, forward Usman Garuba of Spain is a member of the Spain's men's national team in the Tokyo Olympics and will now be a member of the Houston Rockets. Oyo Dosumu, selected by the Chicago Bulls, and Charles Bassey of the Philadelphia 76ers also have ties to Nigeria. JT Tho, who was born in Nebraska to South Sudanese parents, will play for the Charlotte Hornets. And Nemias Keita, who was born in Portugal to parents from Guinea-Bissau, became the first Portuguese player drafted by an NBA team when he was selected by the Sacramento Kings. And if you haven't heard, former US President Barack Obama has joined NBA Africa as a strategic partner.
In Africa, basketball has the power to promote opportunity, wellness, equality, and empowerment across the continent. As president and through my foundation, I've made it a priority to engage Africa's young people. That's because Africa has the highest percentage of youth population in the world, and this new generation is poised to create positive, transformative change. By investing in communities, promoting gender equality, and cultivating the love of the game of basketball, I believe that NBA Africa can make a difference for so many of Africa's young people. I've been impressed by the league's commitment to Africa, including the leadership shown by so many African-born players who want to give back to their own countries and communities. I'm also impressed by the talent and energy and passion for the game that I've encountered across the continent. 2 years ago, I visited Kenya. In fact, went to the village where my father grew up with Masai Ujiri and other representatives from the NBA to open a new basketball court. And it was clear to all of us that Africans are poised to show the world that they've got game. I've talked for several years with Adam Silver and the NBA about how they can take their engagement in Africa to the next level, and how the league can partner with the work my foundation and I are doing there. So, I am proud to join the team at NBA Africa as this initiative is taking off, and look forward to a partnership that benefits the youth of so many countries. Ultimately, this is a win-win for the league, for the game of basketball, and for the people of Africa. It's why I'm excited to support NBA Africa and to see the difference it will make across the continent and around the world.
There's much excitement in Africa about the Olympics, nowhere more than at the airport in Tunis when Olympic champion Ahmed Ayoub Hafnoui returned from winning Africa's first gold medal in the men's 400-meter freestyle.
I felt like everyone who becomes an Olympic champion. Seeing the world around us, the national anthem in the background is an honor and a joy, especially in the Olympic pool where the swimmers and other athletes are watching you all. It is a very great honor.
His gold, combined with compatriots Ons Jabor's eye-catching run in the Wimbledon women's quarterfinals, has allowed sport to provide a welcome distraction for the hard-pressed Tunisian people. This summer, President of the Tunisian Olympic Committee, Mahrez Bassiane, relayed that sentiment to AFP.
It's an exceptional medal in all aspects. An 18-year-old young man in difficult conditions of a global health crisis, in a speciality which Arabs and Tunisians in particular are not used to. It is a speciality of Australians and Americans. An 18-year-old young man won this exceptional medal, which changed the mood of the entire Tunisian people.
Hafnoui's father shared just how determined his son was to get to the top.
It was a dream, but he always told me he wants to go to the top, and he has worked for it for years since he was a kid. Despite the obstacles he encountered, which we know well in the sporting world, he challenged everyone. He challenged all those who did not believe in a Tunisian, Arab, and a Muslim champion.
And there was more cheering on from families of those on the refugee Olympic team who come from Kenya's Kakuma camp. Having fled conflict in South Sudan, all the runners were living in the Kakuma refugee settlement when their athletic skills were first discovered. And since then, they have lived and trained in Kakuma and at a training center in Ngongo near the capital Nairobi before heading to Tokyo. AFP collected encouraging words from family members of track and field athletes, including Rose Nathike's father, Angelina Nadai, Loralithi auntie, and Paulo Amotum's sister.
I pray that God helps you do well and you come back with something good.
I think she is a role model. She inspires me a lot. If I was young, I would have definitely loved to be an athlete. I keep encouraging my own kids to look up to Angelina so they can travel and see the world like she has.
I pray that you get a good position during the marathon. I will be so happy. I want to encourage you and pray that God guides you to victory.
When Lamine Sarr left Senegal, he never thought that he would end up selling fake goods on the streets of Barcelona. But that changed with one big decision involving sneakers. Known as manteros after the blanket on which they lay their wares, these street sellers live a precarious life, always on the lookout for the police. So Sarr decided to do something different. He helped set up the Barcelona Street Vendors Union, which has just launched its own brand of trainers in the hope of changing the rules of the game. Behind the project is Top Manta, a clothing company set up in 2017 by the union, which is mostly made up of sub-Saharan Africans.
From the beginning, when we formed this union, when we created this brand, our objective was always to get the manteros off the street, because many people think that we are on the street because we want to be there. When we leave our countries, we did not think that when we got here, we would be manteros. Our dream is not to be mantero.
And what better way to kick against the system than by giving those who are known for selling fakes on the streets of Barcelona their very own brand of shoes made locally in Spain and Portugal, Sarr told AFP.
We have decided with the small means we have to make these shoes here, to make sneakers that are vegan, sneakers that respect the environment, shoes where we know each item, where they come from and who makes them, some sneakers that are made nearby in small factories.
It was the disappearance of tourists as a result of the pandemic that put an end to Omi Manga's 5 years working as a hawker on the streets.
I didn't like to sell on the street. But the law here is a law that says that if you don't spend 3 years here, you can't get your papers, and you can't be like that without working either. The only thing I had to do is go out and sell whatever. Sell on the street to live.
The name they have given the trainers is Under Them, which means walking together in Wolof. And in fashion, Brianna Maria, founder of We Speak Model Agency, believes models should reflect the world, and her agency finds and promotes a unique and diverse group of people. Karina Bafradazian reports from Washington, D.C.
Over the past few decades, modeling has expanded to include people of different ages, races, and sizes. But for Brianna Mariah, founder of We Speak Model Agency, agencies still do not embrace enough diversity. So in 2012, she opened her own agency despite some skepticism.
When I started We Speak, I remember a very distinct meeting where I had feedback from a peer, and she was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Your board is too all over the place. There's already plus size agencies, like that's already a thing. And I kept doing what I was doing, and I was like, this isn't a plus size agency. This is where we all come together and celebrate each other.
Today, she works with over 130 models of different builds, heights, genders, and races. There are models with Down syndrome and with skin conditions, and they have all found their way to magazine covers, ads, and catwalks, making a statement about equality and body positivity. Washington, D.C.-based model Danielle Sauter says it's a good time to build diversity in the fashion industry.
Having more diverse models of all heights, of all sizes, of all shapes, of all genders, of all races is, it's really starting to flourish more than it has ever been.
Sauter says social networks have helped recruiters find new and diverse models for ad campaigns. She credits her Instagram blog for helping to launch her career in 2014 when she joined a Washington, D.C. modeling agency. But some more conventional models say they are now being criticized and accused of promoting unrealistic expectations. Vlada Roslikova is one of the most popular Russian models in the West.
There's a new imbalance taking place. I am the way I am, and people are now criticizing me for making others feel uncomfortable in their own bodies. So I am to blame for simply being me? It is a complex and loaded issue, and of course I'd love to have some balance.
Some say one example is the decision by popular lingerie brand Victoria's Secret to stop working with long-time models known as angels.
I don't think that they should have canceled the angels. I think that they should have made them more inclusive. I think that they should have kept the program. And, when you look at, Victoria's Secret has always been very, sexy. Why can't all people be sexy? Look at Fenty, for example, Rihanna's line. They've done a fantastic job of all sizes, all genders.
Victoria's Secret models now range from actress Priyanka Chopra to professional soccer player Megan Rapinoe.
I like the tendency to take interest in the personality of the model. It's not a pretty picture anymore. Now people want to know more about the model, and it's awesome.
A changing industry for changing times. Karina Befredjin for VOA News, Washington.
And now to South Africa for a look at how the first transgender finalist in the country's national beauty pageant, Modo Legonolo Machaba, wants to use the platform to push for greater acceptance of the LGBTQ community.
Machaba, 24, is competing for the Miss South Africa title after the country in 2019 joined a small but growing number of countries, including Spain, Canada, Nepal, and Panama, that accept transgender contestants in their beauty pageants. She explained to Reuters how she has felt overwhelmed yet grateful for the opportunity.
Being the first trans woman in South Africa to enter the pageant has actually been overwhelming, but at the very same time, I'm grateful for the fact that I've been given this opportunity to try and advocate for my queer community, because we've seen in the past couple of months how queer people have been killed. We have trends that are going on social media regarding hate crime towards queer community. So being the first, it's a bit overwhelming, and I'm also anxious at the point that people now do know that I'm a trans woman.
Machaba's anxiety comes from knowing that she will be stigmatized for putting a spotlight on issues transgender people face, but is willing to fight for change. In May, Miss South Africa organization CEO Stephanie Weil said since the organization took over the competition in 2019, its goal has been to be more inclusive and embracing of all members of society.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.